The youngest among us pours this water. This water is a symbol of the abundance of God's love, which flows in and through us and around us. May this water remind us of God's presence with us today and always. May the sound of this bell reverberate through all creation in celebration of Ted, beloved husband, father, grandfather, friend, great-grandfather, healer, keeper of laughter, and destroyer of the world's bitterness. Let us join together in singing our opening hymn. Jesus said, I am the resurrection and the life, even in death. Anyone who believes in me will live. God is with us. God's unites us. God's compassion steadies us. God's Spirit comforts us. God, our Comforter, you are a refuge and a strength for us, a helper close at hand in times of distress. Help us so to hear the words of our faith that our fear is dispelled, our loneliness eased, and our hope reawakened. May your Holy Spirit lift us above our natural sorrow to the peace and light of your constant love. Through Jesus Christ, disruptor of death. Amen. In a time of silence, let us make our personal thanksgiving to God for all that Ted has meant to us. Holy, loving God, we thank you that you have made each of us in your own image and given us gifts and talents with which to serve you. We thank you for Ted, the years we have enjoyed with him, the goodness and light he spreads so generously, and the love he shared unconditionally. Now we seek your divine presence within ourselves, that each day we may find strength, courage, and faith to release into your care, confident in your promise of eternal life through Jesus Christ, the risen one. Amen.
On the day I die, when I'm being carried toward the grave, don't weep. Don't say, he's gone, he's gone. Death has nothing to do with going away. The sun sets and the moon sets, but they're not gone. Death is a coming together. The tomb looks like a prison, but it's really release into union. The human seed goes down in the ground like a bucket into the well where Joseph is. It grows and comes up full of some unimagined beauty. Your mouth closes here and immediately opens with a shout of joy there.
Please be seated for silent prayer. We release him to your care, O God.
Unseeable, I have seen you this day, in the lights of the skies, in the green of the earth, in flowing waters. Untouchable, I have felt you this day, in the warmth of the sun, in the wildness of wind, in the touch of another. In and beyond my senses, in taste and touch and sound, your mystery has been made known. At the ending of the day, in the darkness of the night, in and beyond my senses, let me know your presence, O God. Let me know your everlasting presence.
I'd like to ask you all to join me in singing a song, a simple song. You'll know it when you hear it. I think that song means a lot to a lot of people. It certainly means a lot to our family. That song will forever remind me of my dad. I can hear his sweet tenor voice, the sound as snuggly as a down blanket, airy and light with quiet warmth. What makes it such an indelible memory isn't just the song. It's the way he made it real. I'm pretty sure that Bachan, my grandma, didn't teach Dad that song. She sang other very sweet songs to my dad, all in Japanese. So Dad must have learned to sing You Are My Sunshine all on his own. Building his identity as a child of two immigrants meant fusing multiple worlds into one. I don't think it was always easy, but Dad was definitely up to the challenge, especially with his beloved Rita at his side. Dad was a builder. He built a hospital lab. He built a house. He built a family. He contributed to building a church community, a school board, a network of people who care about good medicine and healing. He built gardens. He even built boats. Yes, Dad was definitely a builder, and life was his raw material. From an early age, he built his identity from the ground up with his curiosity, his thirst for living, and a positivity about life that made him glow from the inside out. Dad shared pure, unconditional love, gentle strength, precision, positive intention. He fully expected you to be at your very best, most authentic self. And he gave without expecting to receive in return. For our family in California who will be watching this service, I want to share this with them as I share this with you, that I have a feeling that Dad shared much with his own dad, our grandpa. Teruo Masada came to this country to make a new life as a farmer in Central California. He transformed fields of rock called hardpan into farmable soil. This was back-breaking work, but even a field of hardpan was no match for the work ethic and positive determination of our grandfather. His inner spirit willed the transformation from field of rock to field of crop. With their inner spark, the Masada men, all the Masada men, seemed to be hardwired with an ability to transform themselves, their families, and their communities. Dad was a positive force, to be sure, which is truly remarkable when you consider the hardships and ugly, hurtful injustices he endured as a very young Japanese American during World War II. But he followed in his father's footsteps, seeing that no matter what life brings, it's possible to examine those circumstances until they reveal a powerful learning to translate circumstances into the knowledge necessary to take positive action. Dad created for himself an identity that would transcend labels that others would impose. For example, child of immigrants. Yes, he was a child of immigrants, and he was an American, learning that even the humblest beginnings can be a rock upon which to build a solid foundation. Opportunity to those who work hard is always available, he said. Japanese. At a crucial time in U.S. history, Dad was Japanese. During World War II, he represented a culture that elicited negative, hateful responses. However, Dad embodied a way of being Japanese that calmed unfounded fears. He showed, with fierce clarity, his intentions to be a soldier for equal freedom for all people. In particular, his dedication to medicine meant serving all people in need of healing. And in our small western Nebraska town, people came to understand that for my dad, being Japanese meant all who seek healing could rely on him to serve with calm, capable medical care. No matter what the time of night, if the phone rang, Dad would answer in a cheerful and alert tone. Sure, what can I do for you? We all remember that, right? Speaking of his medical career, Dad redefined the role of medical technician. For him, building a hospital lab meant creating a hub for healing by understanding when to follow protocol and when to dig deeper with tests that could reveal the root cause of illness, something my brother shares. He built a reputation among physicians and nurses as a valuable resource, a colleague who provided key insights about their patients. Dad's work embodied integrated medicine long before the team approach of Mayo Clinic or the holistic practices of complementary medicine. Not one to do anything halfway, Dad sang, "You are my sunshine," to his little ones from the depths of his heart. I have a feeling he did this the way he did everything in life. He poured himself into the song and poured the song into himself, back and forth, until he had built the song of his own DNA and his DNA had built the song. By living the song and letting the song live in him, he truly experienced it. This is what made it real. Dad's lasting gift to us is his ability to live life so thoroughly that he transforms it and allows life to transform him. In other words, he shows us by example how to be strong enough, how to let go enough, how to be vulnerable enough to live a life that's vibrant and real. He accompanied on our journeys not so that we could see through his eyes, but so that we would learn to become ourselves in wondrous technicolor. Marjorie Williams' book, The Velveteen Rabbit, is a story told through the eyes of a simple stuffed toy bunny. Despite being the lowliest toy, the rabbit is selected to comfort the boy through a terrible illness. They share experiences that transform the Velveteen Rabbit from a toy to something real. Real is what happens when you become your true self, not a contrived, shiny, pretend thing. And when you are loved, despite and maybe even because of your imperfections. "What is real?" asked the rabbit one day. "Does it mean having things that buzz inside you and a stick-out handle?" "Real," said the skin horse, "isn't how you're made. It's something that happens to you." This is a note that Dad received when he retired from the hospital in 1997. Dear Ted, I read in the Western Observer newspaper this morning, and I had a very sad feeling. Ted wouldn't be at the hospital anymore. I couldn't tell you how many times through the years when Ted walked into the ER or a patient's room, it was like, everything is going to be okay. Ted's here. Members of my family and myself have all experienced the kind of look in your eyes and your quiet manner, as well as words of encouragement, even when things weren't going so well. We appreciate all you have done, Ted. We'll miss you, but we know you deserve to enjoy your retirement, and we wish you all the very best. That was a note from a dear friend at his retirement. Another touching moment I remember, Dad pointed to a sweet dog across the street and said, "You see that dog? Yesterday I found out it belongs to a blacksmith. So, you know how I know that? I snuck up on it, and it made a bolt for the door." Dad was certainly the master of puns. When Dad retired from the hospital 45 years without taking a single sick day, Bob Pinkerton, editor of the local Observer newspaper, wrote a story about Dad's retirement and his service to the community. The headline read, "Ted Masada, never sick, spent most of life in hospital." From God's infinite love, we emerge, and to God's infinite love, we return. This is what it is to be made of the divine, created of earth's raw materials. We know that we are born, we live, we die, and we are resurrected. Dad sang about sunshine, and that's what we're made of. Please don't take my sunshine away, to Dad, that means, please let your sunshine flow. Please let your sunshine flow. This is no small request. Sunshine is not for the faint of heart. Sunshine is unbridled strength. Sunshine pulls seedlings from the dark soil. Its strength can wither. It can also create forests that shelter us and crops that feed us. When we let our sunshine flow, we allow ourselves to dive fully into life's experiences. Whatever life brings us, let's allow ourselves to be transformed by it. Let's ask where we can serve. Let's laugh more, smile more, and open our hearts to others. Thanks, Dad, for setting that example.
I'd like to invite you all to share a remembrance. We'll have a time of silence. If you would like to share your remembrance out loud, you may. Silently, you may. And after that silence, we'll pray the Lord's Prayer together. For the motorcycle rides at the Olympic Place. For lots of fishing trips.
The love was always there.
Stand as we are able and pray together with the Lord's Prayer. Eternal Spirit, Earth Maker, Pain Bearer, Life Giver, Source of all that is and that shall be, Father and Mother of us all, loving God, in whom is set, the hallowing of your name, echo through the universe. The way of your justice be followed by the peoples of the world. Your heavenly will be done by all created beings. Your commonwealth of peace and freedom sustain our hope and come on earth. With the bread we need for today, feed us. In the words we absorb from one another, forgive us. In times of temptation and testing, strengthen us. From trials too great to endure, spare us. From the grip of all that is evil, free us. For you reign in the glory of the power that is love, now and forever. Amen. Chris Masada will now lead us in the prayers of the people.
Sustaining God, we pray for all who love Ted, that they may know the comfort of your love.
Lord, hear our prayer.
We pray that you will use us as bearers of your love to support them in their grief. We also remember before you all who mourn and all who suffer.
Lord, hear our prayer.
Give us patience and faith in this time of our loss, so that we may come to understand the wonder of your mercy and the mystery of your love.
Lord, hear our prayer.
Increase our faith and trust in your Son, Jesus Christ, that we may live humbly in your service, to bear peace, ban injustice, heal those who suffer, and dissolve evil.
Lord, hear our prayer.
Give us such a vision of your purpose and such an assurance of your love and power that we may ever hold fast the hope which is Jesus Christ our Lord.
Lord, hear our prayer.
God of all that lives and dies, we thank you that Jesus is risen from the dead, offering us the hope of new life. Because Jesus lives, nothing can separate us from your love, which unites us now with all the more. Amen.
On our hearts and on our houses,
The blessing of God,
in our coming and our going,
the peace of God,
in our lives and our believing,
the love of God,
at our end and new beginning.
the arms of God to welcome us and bring us home. Amen. These blessings uttered by you and carried into the world are ours in the name of the Creator, the Redeemer, and the Sustainer. May we go forth in joy, buoyant in her divine love, flowing through all we do and are together. Amen.